Hey there, filmmakers and audio and video enthusiasts. It's Mike from Music Radio Creative, and today we're diving deep into the heated debate that's been buzzing all over the internet. Adobe Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve? Which reigns supreme? Buckle up as we break down the pros and cons of each powerhouse editing software in huge detail, giving you the inside scoop on the industry's hottest topic. You've probably noticed big names like Sam Calder and Peter McKinnon making the switch, but what's the real deal? Prepare to be blown away as I reveal the nitty-gritty details of DaVinci Resolve, zooming in on the all-important topic of audio. Yes, that's right. Awesome sound of your videos is the second most important element, yet many creators don't pay attention. Do you? Be honest. I add my 2 cents with over 20 years of audio editing expertise to the mix. So which editor is truly the best for your projects? Should you switch? And for those just embarking on their editing journey, which software should you choose as your trusted sidekick? Let's settle this once and for all. I'm here to give you the lowdown and guide you towards making an informed decision that aligns perfectly with your creative vision. Let's dive right in. Before we get started, let's look at the main reasons people are switching from Adobe Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve. First of all, stability. Premiere Pro. Does it crash? DaVinci Resolve. Does it crash? Well, I have not experienced for many years now Premiere Pro crashing. Although what I will say is DaVinci Resolve seems to save a project more seamlessly and more often than Adobe Premiere Pro. But really, in today's age, I don't think either editor has a problem with the ability to keep your project intact and lose all those crucial bits. The next reason, and it's a big reason, is price. When DaVinci Resolve is really good and free, of course, a lot of people are going to try it. But if you really want to get the best out of DaVinci Resolve and get their upgraded features, particularly one really interesting looking feature called Vocal Isolate, when you have dialogue that you want to remove noisy background or conference floor chatter away from, that looks like a reasonable upgrade. There are some other features as well in the Studio edition of DaVinci Resolve, meaning you pay a one-time fee and you get the package. No monthly fees, and that's the big axe people have to grind with Adobe. Creative Cloud, you're paying every single month, but of course you're getting guaranteed feature upgrades and of course new things like Adobe Firefly, which soon is going to be fantastic for video and audio, so let's watch this space. Video editors also suggest that the color grading in DaVinci Resolve is excellent, intuitive, and potentially better than Adobe Premiere Pro. And also, in general, if you're a beginner video or audio editor, you may find an easier experience starting with something like DaVinci Resolve. If you've had years of experience in Adobe Premiere Pro and that's all you know and you've got the shortcuts ingrained in your brain, then of course you're going to take a little while to switch over. Definitely the workflow seems more fluid and straightforward in DaVinci Resolve, but I feel that there are more powerful features such as text transcription, Frame.io integration, the ability to share projects with a team, and also I find it seamless to switch between projects I'm working on inside Adobe Premiere Pro. DaVinci Resolve has a simple left to right workflow. You get the media in, you cut it, you edit, you do the fusion effects, color grading, audio in Fairlight, and then you deliver. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to start off in the media section, drag in my clip. That was simple. Then I'm going to go ahead and make some cuts. So first of all, I need to drag this onto a timeline. There it is. And to start making cuts, well, I might want to just chop off the start of the video where there's just silence. So I've done that quite easily. I can then move the playhead through. Let's do that. Let's play this back.
Garden, talking to you and hoping that you...
Okay, there was a little gap there in the speech. So I might want to make some cuts there, and I can simply use the snippy scissors, look at that, and that nicely separates clips. So I've made a couple of cuts, I can delete that, boom, and it even budges that up for me. So the cut section is really easy to go through and make continuous cuts without having to drag and drop. So that is a big point there for DaVinci Resolve. Okay, Adobe Premiere Pro, I've been using this for decades. It is software that allows you to go really deep and really advanced really quick. The difference between that and DaVinci Resolve is designed for people who are coming in. They want to go from left to right, start to finish, easily. Let's see how this works out in Premiere. So I'm going to drag in a clip here. Here's my clip of Isabella, and currently I'm editing and I'm in my workspace here, the Essentials workspace. So everything's pretty easy. I can drag this down to my timeline, and again, if I want to edit this, I can do that. Move that to the front, like so. It's pretty easy. I can make cuts, and again, I know all the shortcuts. I'll switch off snapping, and I would just go to my blade tool or my razor tool here. C is my shortcut, and I can cut out a little bit here and here. That's pretty simple. Budget up. Snapping is probably helpful, so I'll switch that back on, and boom, that's done. So pretty easy to get everything in and make an edit and make a cut. I'm really, really happy with that. Go into the edit and I can do more advanced stuff. Now I can go ahead and I've got all kinds of stuff. I've been playing with the effects menu down here. This is really good if I want to put a title on at the start. So I can look through and look, here are my titles, and I can rotate in and out a title right here. Let's make that a little bit shorter like that. Let's go into the title box and we'll call this Isabella's Vlog. There we go. And then back to the start, we can see immediately.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
That is really, really easy to place there onto the video. Now, I'm guessing I can change the size of this if I want, which is fantastic. If I like, I can maybe, I can change the vertical anchor of this. I'd really like to maybe get this up to the middle. I can get it up to the top there. I can do all kinds of things. That's, although it's not quite hitting the top for me, which is interesting. Maybe I need to play around. That's the horizontal anchor, which seems to be a bit more. I would love to actually get that right to the top of my video. I'd love to know how that's possible. At the moment, I can't really see a way. Oh, I can change the tracking. That's really interesting. So there's lots I can do with that particular text effect. And of course, if I want to do some transitions, I can actually do a brightness flash on this, like so.
It's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
And look at that, it kind of flashes the video as the text disappears. So really easy to go in, start editing, adding text in, adding transitions. I can do all that kind of stuff. Let's do a little camera shake here. Let's see if I can kind of drag that on. Let's drag it into the transition there, see what happens.
Garden, talking to you and
oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that.
Okay, so editing, adding effects, adding titles, that's like super easy and intuitive. I didn't quite know how to budge that title to be up at the top. It doesn't seem to be so intuitive there. But to get started, that's really pretty cool. I've got some great video edits already in place. Now, how about overlaying some text? Well, let's do that. Let's go into the captions and graphics workspace up here in the top. And now I can see, right, I've got some templates here, which is pretty simple. So I'm going to do an angled title for the start. I'm going to reduce that in time, get it to the same sort of space. And really, I want to put my title there. So let's double click and edit it. And we'll call it Isabella's Vlog. That's all pretty straightforward, isn't it? Don't really like the font that I've got there. So let's go for something different. Arial Black. There you go. Nice and big. We can make it a bit bigger if we want. And if I want to adjust the positioning on the screen, I can do so. And yeah, I want to get that right up at the top. So let's put that up there. Let's see how that looks now in context.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden, talking to you and...
Okay, this is all working pretty well, pretty fluid. I can obviously change anything I want about that, switch on and off effects. I can even probably add in new stuff as well if I need to make this title look even better. Now, I will say that I felt that adding effects and different kinds of effects to text overlays was a little easier in DaVinci Resolve, but this definitely gets the job done. And with the ability to browse through and pick out a template that suits, I mean, this is great. There are many, many options. And Adobe Stock obviously beefs that up with even more options, even options for free if you don't want to pay for premium or buy your own stock in. So definitely loads of options there. Might take you a little longer to actually customize it and get it looking how you want. Now, let's see what the Fusion is all about. And over here in Fusion, oh my goodness, this is... if I've come from Adobe Premiere Pro, where I'm used to adding adjustment layers, one on top of the other, this is foreign to me. This is a different language. So what I'm guessing here is that I can add in different, well, they call them nodes, I think, in in DaVinci Resolve. So I'm overwhelmed here. Now, I can add text again. So why would I want to add text? I don't know. I can do color correcting, but that's confusing me because I can actually do that over here in the next tab. So let's add something simple and basic. First of all, let's go back to the edit screen. I was hoping that I'd be able to see some of the video infusion. Now I can. Okay, I can see the media in and the media out. Okay, this is clear. So I want to add a blur. Let's do that. Okay, I added in a blur. That's interesting. So now it's going to, the media in is getting blurred and then going to media out. Okay, so I can increase the blur size. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I can blur. That's kind of like an adjustment layer in Adobe Premiere Pro. I get it. That makes sense to me. What if I want to blur just one thing in the video? Like, for instance, Isabella's eyes. How would I do that? Let's have a look here. So do we have the ability to maybe select just a portion? Or maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. Maybe I need to drag and drop the blur up here. Okay, that is possible. Oh, and then I can do a rectangle on the blur. Oh, this is super smart stuff. Okay, right. And now I can, I guess, make that rectangle smaller and maybe move it around to cover Isabella's eyes. This is going to look really weird, by the way. And then if I increase the blur, it shouldn't affect my video yet. Yeah, because I have not linked the media to the blur. So it's kind of like dropping into nodes. Oh, okay. Now I can't see anything because I'm not going from blur to media out. Now I am. And now that I've done that and I've added my rectangle kind of masking, if you like, I should now be able to increase the blur size. Oh, look at that. That's really freaky. And I can sort of blur out Isabella's eyes in Fusion. Okay, so that's how Fusion works. That's how I could use the Fusion step. Now I want to go to a different workspace. And again, it's all about workspaces here in Adobe Premiere Pro. There's no left to right, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then you're done. Here, you really need to know what you're doing next. So over here in effects, I can go ahead and find a video effect. Lots here, or a video transition. So let's go for a simple dissolve, and let's go for a morph cut. Let's see how that looks.
In our wonderful garden, talking to you.
Oh, this is one that analyzes in the background.
Talking to you.
That might take a while to render out. Now, I did notice that DaVinci Resolve was rendering very, very fast indeed.
Our wonderful garden, talking.
No, it's still thinking about it. Maybe I should have added an easier effect there just to get the idea of, for instance, I can put something at the end like dipping to black. That might help. Let's see that. That should be instantly rendered. Perfect. That works.
Talking to you and
oh yes.
Garden. Talking to you. And
now we can see it did a crazy kind of morph. Probably not the best effect for me to pick there, but you can see how that stuff works really easy. Okay, so we've got that all done. Now color grading. I am not a color grading expert. This is all so much to take in, but obviously if I had some tweaky dials in front of me, I could really go around and make some adjustments to the color. And this is super easy and intuitive. I might not be doing the best job here at color grading, but I can totally see how this is super easy and I can move stuff here. Wow, yeah, I can really make some interesting adjustments to sort of get the color right. Now, of course, if I was an expert, I'm just tweaking this to show you how color grading would work, but I could really sit here and get great color grading without needing to go through loads of panels. So definitely very straightforward in DaVinci Resolve. Maybe I'd like to do some color grading. So again, it's looking for the right workspace, and there's a color workspace here. And again, we've got our lumetri scopes. If we want to see all of that, that's available to us. And we've got the opportunity to do some basic correction here if we want, so we can change the temperature of everything. We can, like, there you go, see, we can get a more true, and again, I'm not a color grading expert, but we can start to change and play around with the exposure, the contrast and everything, the highlights, the shadows, to get something really looking pretty good. And again, like I say, I'm just doing this to show off the features, not to dial in the color specifically. One thing I do really like about the ability to work inside Adobe Premiere Pro is you can go for different looks and you can actually cycle through them quickly. I couldn't find this option easily inside DaVinci Resolve. So I can cycle through really quickly and get a look I like. Oh, I like that look. Boom, click it, and it's applied like that. And there's no need to use nodes or anything like that. It can all be done pretty well.
Talking to you and hoping that...
And obviously you'll notice I've only color graded the second part of my clip.
Talking to you. And
so I kind of go from the original color...
Our wonderful garden. Talking to you. And
to my graded color with that weird kind of morph cut, but you know, I can really start to do things quite easily, and I'd actually argue with the creative looks here, it is easier to quickly get through and choose a color grade that looks good, particularly to a beginner in Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, before we go into the Fairlight section and start playing with audio, I'm just going to go back to Fusion, and I'm actually going to just disable, let's just see if we can go straight to media out. Oh, we have to delete those nodes because I don't want Isabella's eyes to be blurred for the whole of that section. It's going to be really freaky. Okay. Fairlight, excellent. This is my audio section. Let's just make that nice and big. I can see the waveform, fantastic. And I guess I can zoom using the zoom controls. There must be some mouse shortcuts as well, I would imagine. But this is great. This is a very straightforward, easy to understand waveform display. And I've got my effects mixer over here. Let's see if I can maybe drag that out. I'm sure there would be probably a way to drag it out, although it's not allowing me. It's kind of over here. It's stuffed over to the right. I kind of don't like that. I wish I could have it at the top or somewhere else and move it around. And again, I'm sure there is a way I can move this out. I've got the full track mixer over there. So let's go through in order and see what's going on. So we've got an input. If we wanted to input some audio from our sound recording device, we can. We can choose the order that our track effects are applied. So usually it's your effects, whatever effects you add, your dynamics, so your compression, and then your EQ. Now, personally, I'm a fan of EQing first. Oh yes, so it allows me to do that. And then dynamics last to sort of flatten the audio levels out. And it's really interesting. Effects can go up here. So I'm guessing stuff like, restoration. So noise reduction can go in. I can do all kinds of stuff here if I need to. But right now, let's start with the built-in, the baked-in effects. We got compression, EQ, another EQ segment if we need it, and also bus sends and panning from left to right. So let's start off with dynamics, and I guess, I've clicked it once and disabled it. Click it again, enable it, double click, and yes, here we go. So let's play this audio and see what the dynamics effect looks like.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our...
Whoa, okay, this is cool. This is one of the best compression effects I think I've ever seen. So big thumbs up to DaVinci Resolve for the way it's displaying information that's easy for me as an audio producer to understand. It's creating little bubbles across this little compressor so I can see where I should be setting my thresholds.
Wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio.
Okay, so I can see that most of Isabella's speech is occurring, sort of the mid-range is occurring at minus 20 dB. So boom, I can go straight to my compressor, enable it, and I can set the threshold to around minus 20.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
And look at that, not only am I getting the visual display, but I'm getting the gain reduction displayed here as well.
Talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio.
So I can already see the compression's doing a great job. Now, if I don't like a hard knee, I like a soft knee. It's essentially a softer form of compression, not so harsh, particularly good for dialogue. I can soften the knee up by doing that. And look, the compression just gets a little bit softer there, which is great. Okay, attack, I can tighten that up. I can keep the hold at 0. That's not a problem. Maybe move the release down as well a little bit. And we've actually got a really good form of compression.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
I could increase the ratio a bit.
Talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think...
Okay, so that's sounding good. I'm happy with that as a light form of compression. So that was really easy to set up. Obviously, as an audio producer, I know what I'm doing. I'd be really interested to look at the effects in a moment and see if there's any sort of hold your hand guidance for setting up things like this. Again, EQ, I'm double clicking here. Yes, a very familiar parametric equalizer. So let's have a look. Well, I can go ahead and start messing about with different frequencies. I'm guessing I can add high pass to knock off bass. But what are their presets like? Okay, so we got clean add high end. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got a female lav mic fixer, which is really helpful. Telephone effect, top end boost, dialogue male. Why not dialogue female? Where did that preset go? DaVinci Resolve. Anyway, dialogue male is included. Let's go for the female lav mic fixer. This is interesting. So we're boosting the low end. We're knocking off a bit of the very, very low end where some problems may occur, and we're boosting the high end.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here.
Not bad. So I can go ahead and tweak this further.
In our wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
Okay, I don't really need to do much more. So again, the EQ preset there has been really decent for making stuff sound good. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in some effects. effects just to play, and I think I'll go for a bit of restoration, noise reduction, to see if it cleans up some of the background noise from the garden there.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
Okay, so there's something going on there. We can already de-rumble and hiss. Let's play that back.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden, talking to you.
Okay, this noise reduction effect is rather aggressive. Let's just reduce the threshold and see if that changes things.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
Okay, yeah.
Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden, talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
Okay, I kind of got somewhere where I've reduced a bit of noise, but I got to say at first glance, this noise reduction effect, while it has an easy layout, I would say it's not easy to dial it into the specifics of what it is I want to reduce. I've got auto speech mode. I wonder if that'll change things.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella here in our wonderful garden.
No, in reality, I think what the noise reduction effect has done is it's reduced the fidelity of the audio. So I'm actually going to delete that plugin, go back to what I had before.
Hi Mike, it's Isabella.
Much crisper and clearer. So at first glance, at first play with noise reduction in DaVinci Resolve and in the Fairlight section, I'm really not happy with the result I got quickly. Now, maybe if I deep dive and really learn that effect and play with some of the settings more, I could get something more interesting. But I do think that Adobe Premiere Pro and particularly Adobe Audition have world-class noise reduction effects and abilities to remove things, take things, isolate things from the audio. So we'll see. I know DaVinci Resolve Studio, the paid version, has vocal isolate as an option, and that may well work better. But for now, for me, in the free version, definitely a weakness for me is the noise reduction presently. I think I'm going to have fun with this. So let's go into the audio workspace up here. And here it is. And now I've got something that could look a little overwhelming. Up here, I've got my mixer. And up here, I've got the ability to add effects. But what if we want to go easy to start with? Again, I think Adobe Premiere Pro has done a great job with Essential Sound where I can say that it's dialogue. I can match the loudness levels really easily. That's done. So all my audio will be a consistent volume. I can repair, I can reduce that noise.
I think that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
And that was much easier to dial out the background noise just by ticking reduce noise here in Essential Sound and putting it to a level of 1.9. If I go too much higher, it will reduce the quality.
Talking to you and hoping that you can
very much isolated, but
do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds so good.
But actually at 1.2, it's removed most of the background sounds. I can then go through and do anything else like reducing rumble, de-humming, de-essing, reducing reverb. It's all more sort of mashed together in the effects, I would say, in DaVinci Resolve. So I have more fine-grained control over here in Adobe Premiere Pro. As for EQ, again, yep, we got simple presets like subtle boost for a female voice.
To you and hoping that you can do something with my audio.
Definitely add some presence to Isabella's voice. We've got creative like reverb, but I don't need any of that. So that's pretty easy to set up over here in the Essential Sound panel. If I wanted to go advanced, I could then go ahead and maybe add in something like a bit of parametric equalizer. And again, I really like the presets that come with the parametric equalizer, particularly vocal enhancer.
Talking to you and hoping that you can do something with my audio because I don't think it sounds.
And I can roll off some of the bass with a high pass filter.
And hoping that you can do something.
Now, one thing I will say is with the high pass filter over here in Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition, you can actually change the shape of that curve to make it tighter, like that, or to make it softer, a softer roll-off like that. I didn't see that option instantly available to me in DaVinci Resolve when I was working with the high-pass filter. So that's worth to note. Otherwise, I can add in a bunch of effects, and of course, I absolutely love all of the noise removal effects, and if I need to, I can actually right-click any audio clip and go ahead and edit the clip in Adobe Audition if I want to do advanced noise reduction. And you'll see many videos on my channel. Look, somewhere on your screen right now, there are some noise reduction tutorials, and really Adobe Audition, holding hands with Adobe Premiere Pro, still, in my opinion, world-class for editing audio and making it sound great. So we've done everything. We've done some editing. We've put text on. We've done some color grading. I just click deliver and look at this. Very easy to give my file a name. I can say it's video, I can choose my format. Now again, when I'm choosing a format, I would prefer to have H.264, and I can't instantly see that. MP4, I guess, yeah. MP4 H.264, hardware acceleration. Another big benefit a lot of other creators have said is the faster rendering times and the ease of use. I've definitely noticed the smoothness, the buttery smoothness as I've been going through video and audio. That hasn't been an issue. I'm sure this will render out quite quickly. I can do it as a 1920 by 1080, or I can go out in 4K if I'd like as well. All of this is available. What I'm not seeing here at first glance is a very quick preset for sending to YouTube. When I'm working in Adobe Premiere Pro, there are specific YouTube presets. There are Facebook presets, Twitter presets, so I can render out video for the specific platform that I'm uploading to. Here, I kind of need to use a little bit more of my knowledge, and when it gets to things like restricting to certain kilobits per second and the encoding profiles and all of that, I really don't want to be messing about with that. I just prefer to have a upload to YouTube, 1080p, preset, click it, and render, and that's something else that I feel Adobe Premiere Pro does really well. Finally, in Premiere Pro, I want to export. Well, actually, I have to say, I think the export has got a real facelift in recent times from the team at Adobe and from Premiere Pro. So actually, I think this trumps DaVinci Resolve. It's so easy to get this clip exported and out to the platform of my choice. I don't need to mess about thinking, oh, MP4, H.264, QuickTime, MOV, none of that. All I need to do is give it a name. So I'll say Isabella.mp4, like so, and then I can choose my preset. So look, yes, YouTube 1080p, YouTube 2160p. So I don't need to worry. I don't need to look at this and say, oh, what should the frame size be? And particularly when I'm getting down here, what am I doing with everything else here? What should my sample rate be and my bit rate be? This preset just takes care of it, and there are more presets. I can import tons of presets if I've got one, or if I go to the more presets here, look at this. I mean, there's just so many Adobe presets. I don't know what to do with myself. But if I'm going somewhere specific, typing Facebook, look at that. Throws me Facebook presets for exporting. Twitter, it's got Twitter covered. It's just got every social platform you can imagine. Super simple. And you can even upload directly to some of your favorite social places direct here from the export screen of Adobe Premiere Pro. So a big thumbs up. In my opinion, DaVinci Resolve needs work with export. Adobe Premiere Pro, super easy. You don't need to know all the settings. You just click the preset and you go. So overall, my thoughts, DaVinci Resolve versus Adobe Premiere Pro. Well, unlike so many other YouTubers and content creators, I'm going to stick with Adobe Premiere Pro for the fact that, yes, it's a monthly subscription, but I get my updates. I know Adobe Firefly is coming down the pipeline. There's text transcription, there's frame.io. I can work with a team. We need to work with a team here at Music Radio Creative. So having those kind of integrations are super cool. I love the fact that I can work with audio in a more fine-grained way. Yes, some of the effects are super easy to use in DaVinci Resolve, but would I start using those particularly for audio? Definitely not right now. If you're a beginner and you're learning for the first time, maybe DaVinci Resolve is a great way to get started, particularly as it's free. Stability and render times, well, while some people who are rendering out a lot of video all day may notice a slight difference, I think Premiere Pro is really increasing its delivery times all the time. The fact that you can actually use GPU to render now and stuff like that, it's definitely getting there. One thing I do like about DaVinci Resolve is it's Windows, it's Mac, and if I wanted to become 100% Linux, I could, because DaVinci Resolve works on Linux. So there we go, Adobe. How about making your software and Creative Cloud available in Linux? Will that happen one day in a dream? Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. It's a hot topic right now. DaVinci Resolve versus Adobe Premiere Pro. What are you using and why? Let me know.